Hey gentlemen, it's 16th of February 2025 and this is my, I guess, third video. Yeah, it's third video. How am I already losing track? Um, so this video, it's been 3 weeks since I've started my YouTube channel, and so I've got a lot of them on my mind today, but there are like so much diverse topics to talk about on this channel and to talk about my journey. But I really want to, I saw that I used to stutter upon my words a lot, and the biggest reason for that is I don't have a closed environment to film this video. That gives so much of a good lighting and all everything. And where I sit on my rooftop of my building. If you live in a third world country like India or Pakistan, you know how the architecture is and you know how the rooftops are. So just under my rooftop, just the floor below it, somebody lives and they can hear everything that I say. So that's why sometimes I feel that control inside of myself while I'm talking, and I just can't put all my heart out into the video. And maybe if I would have had a closed car and all that shit, um, like so that I can get a closed environment and scream all I want to, so maybe I would have made a better video. But everything in life is a blessing if you see it that way. Some people won't even get a quiet rooftop like I have, and maybe not a rooftop like I have. So yeah, everything is in life is just the way you see it today. So since I studied so much upon my words, because I'm like almost unprepared, because the biggest reason is not that I don't go through the suck and I haven't suffered it all, and I don't do it don't hold myself to that standard that I try to set on this channel on in these videos. It's not like that. The reason is that when I'm making these videos, I'm generally not in that flow state, because I usually make these on evenings in the Sundays, and I'm just came from my work right now, doing my work on my business and on my trading. There's a business that I'm starting right now, so alongside my trading. So it's not like I was like working out or in something like that would have raised my frequency a lot, and would have, and to speak from all my heart and with all the passion and conviction, I need some aggression, and there's nothing that was aggressive sitting on a computer and looking at the charts. So that's why. But there are times in life, in every week, that I go through the suck and go through the negativity a lot, and at that time my mind speaks up everything. I can speak everything from passion. So that's why I have got what do you say, like a note written in my iPad. Like whenever I used to feel the stuff that I need to convey to you guys, I wrote it in my iPad. So I've just got the photo of it written down here. So maybe sometimes I'll look at it and read about it. And this is not a script, I wrote it down myself. This was my iPad, as you can see. This is just like on the rooftop. I am keeping my iPad in front of me and I'm filming the video. So on the iPad, this is the script. So please ignore if I keep looking down to read that, because I just want to put out value, and I have saw that I give the most value when I am in that, actually going through that thing. And yeah, my whole life is actually going through that thing, but the point like at which I'm at the rock bottom of it, at that time I can speak totally from my mind. So yeah, 4 minutes have already passed by. Let's get quick to the topic. This week I want to talk about consistency, because I have saw that it has been the hardest and biggest thing that has stopped me majorly from making progress in 2024. And consistency is not just doing the work, and like doing the work that you feel like doing in the moment. It's just not that. It's more than that. There's a there's a video that I once saw, and in that the guy told that consistency alone won't transform your life. You need intensity over your actions, and I find that's really beautiful, because there are so many guys out there and girls out there. Don't think that I'm neglecting females, but there are so many people out there overall that do the same thing that you do every day in and day out, but they don't make it. They don't end up making it most of the time. it depends on the display of your efforts, and that's the real thing. That's where the intensity comes in. You have to do the task that you need to do to the standard that you hold yourself to. If you know that you have to study, like if you trade like me, and if you know that you have to backtest something on the charts for like 8 hours, you just don't have to clock in on the time, and like I'm starting my backtesting and I have to do it for 8 hours, and 8 hours keep on passing by, you consistently get distracted, and you can't have that deep focus in the work. It doesn't work like that. You have to put it with all your intention, all the intensity in your heart. That's what you want to do. And like when you're in that flow state, you have to, like, all your mind needs to think about that chart and that edge or strategy, whatever you're backstating. And if you're building a business, all your mind has to think about is how I can take the next step even better. All right, if you are taking the next step, your mind has to think that how can I take the next step even fucking better. That's what you need to do, and that's where the consistency with intensity comes. And this is the biggest thing that I've struggled with. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, because this is, I'm just documenting my journey, and I'm going to fucking reach my goals. I confirm that, no matter how bad I feel, how much anxiety I feel, and whatever the overwhelming explosions and feelings in my mind of loneliness, darkness, sadness, I don't care about that. I am going to make it, and I know it. So that's why I'm documenting this journey, as I've told you before. And I'm being honest with you because I want you, when an year later, and 2 years, 3 years later from here, when I finally reach my goals, I want you guys to not just look at where I am at that time, but come look back here on these videos, that how was the situation at this time, that what I had to go through to achieve that point. And so basically, I have struggled a lot with consistency, and I still struggle with it. It's not like I don't do the things day in and day out. I do that. In the gym, mostly I am consistent, and I also do it with intensity, but I find myself lacking a lot of times when I'm backtesting the charts. I have consistency in that, and but I don't have the intensity. And major thing that I found out for that is, see, the thing is that with all the conviction in your heart and all the ambition in your heart, everything, like every cell of your body, has to believe and has to know and has to understand and accept that where you are trying to go, where you are going, where you're trying to reach, like your inspirational model, it's going to literally take all out of you. You guys have to understand that success isn't just working on the thing that is the major factor to reach there. Like in my case, it's not just giving it your all in trading, or giving it your all in your business, or if you're trying to become a lawyer or a pilot, or like whatever you are trying to become, not just giving everything in that, but you have to change yourself 360-degree. Especially in business, entrepreneurship, and trading, literally, bro, you have to change your all. Because the way your frequency is, the way your sacrificial state is, the way you live your own life, is how it's going to reflect in your trading and your business. Because when you have a positive mindset, you're going to be able to properly look and analyze at the charts. And when you're working on that business, you are going to have most of the best ideas when you're positive. And positivity is not something that comes on its own. You have to almost all the times have to force it, because our minds love the negative state. The bad habits reflect on us the quickest, and the good habits, or changing the bad habits, takes a long time. So you have to know that with all the conviction in your heart, that it's going to take all out of you. If you want to become a trader, just working on your trading isn't going to work itself. You have to work on your mindset, and not just the mindset in the trading part, but the mindset in these videos that I'm telling you. You have to work on that. You have to leave out parties, you have to sacrifice friends, relationships, going out, everything. You have to focus on your diet. You have to focus on how you sleep, on when you sleep, or how much you sleep, how much you put your time to everything. You have to literally focus on every single aspect to reach there. You just can't expect you just can't work on your trading or your business and expect to reach the point where you want to reach. And you sure might have some success on it, but as I don't use much YouTube, and because I have disabled my Instagram account completely, and on YouTube also I have disabled my watch history so that it doesn't gives me any recommendations. But in the gym there are motherfuckers, there are some guys I know which you can call them friends, but I don't really think that they are friends, because they are not going in the direction that I am going, and not I'm just talking in the same direction, but they don't have any focus in life. So I don't consider them real friends, because they are not going to stick with me throughout the journey. And if we don't talk for a month, if they don't show up at the gym because they're fucking inconsistent bitch, beating their meat in their home and not being consistent on the gym, and if they are at their home, wait yeah, if they're at the home, they won't even contact me for so long. So yeah, those guys like saw that controversy, some shit going on in the internet right now about a guy like Ranveer Abadia, because he I don't know the full details on it, but maybe he cracked some wrong jokes on mom and dad, and so people got offended, and like very serious shit is happening. And I don't want to go in deep in that, but I want to tell you one thing. You would have looked at that guy and say, oh wow, he's so successful in life, he has reached such a great point, he has so much money, he has so good cars, and he has so good fame. But he just worked on getting that fame and success and that money and that cars. He didn't work on his himself. That's why now he didn't knew how to handle the fame and money that he got. And that's why he ended up saying something wrong on the social media that totally stole all the success and fame from him. Like the thing he said, I don't think anyone would ever watch him, like his channel. Maybe in 2 to 3 years later people will forget it and like watch it, but I don't think most of his fame and money is going to go right now, and he's going to start all over. He's going to have to start all over, because he didn't work on his himself. He didn't become the man, the person that can achieve that success, that can handle that success. All right, that's the thing. If he would have worked on himself, waking up early, eating right, going to the gym, like maybe he would have done these things, but he would have been consistent on these things, and he worked on his mindset first and then on the business second, he would have be able to restrain, or not restrain, to retain that success. He would have been able to retain that success, but he totally lost it, because he didn't walk with Lord. He didn't know how to carefully manage what he speaks out of his mouth, because he didn't become the man that could have achieved that success. He just found out a business model and made a YouTube channel that could make that success happen for him. He just focused on the business, he didn't focus on himself. And so the thing that I was saying, that you have to know with all your conviction in your heart that where you're going, it's going to take all out of you. Because I found that the biggest problem with consistency is that most of the time with me, I have ended up with overwhelming explosions in my mind that I talked about last time in the last video, that I feel so sad, I feel so lonely, I feel like there's nobody for me in this life, I'm totally alone in this life. That's what I felt after being 2 to 3 years on this journey. And that's the biggest thing that has holding me back from consistency, being consistent. Because when that alarm goes off in the morning at 4:30, at 5, at 5:30, whatever time it is, I feel alone. I feel like, what's the point of getting out of bed? Even if I achieve my goals, like at that time, I have a weird problem of being like I don't have any control over my mind when that alarm goes off, and I'm totally unconscious and not in my control. And maybe that's a wrong thing, and I'm trying to fix it at the most. But at that time I can't control my thoughts, and my mind is speaking like, what's the point of achieving that success? You're all alone in this life. And that's the biggest thing that I've found. But you have to know that where you're going is going to take all out of you, and you have no fucking time to wallow in your fucking sadness, or say that you're alone, or that your girlfriend left you, or that your parents died or divorced. or any sad part of your life. Sure, you can be sad for a period of life when a loved one dies or something like that. That's really traumatic to you. But you have to know that you can't exist just on this earth. This life is a gift every day. Every day so many people die, but your life is saved out of all them. You have this opportunity to live life and make something out of yourself. There are children that are just 1 years old, that infant mortality thing. They just die at 1 year of age, under 1 year of age. But you are like 15, 20, 25, 30, 40 watching this video, and you have lived so many years. And most probably, if you have the full gift of life, you'll probably die like a normal guy at 80, 90, 100. And what are you gonna do all these years? Just exist? Like, just fucking exist and do nothing for yourself? Nothing, make nothing of yourself? Just die an average person's life and nobody will even remember you? You can say all that average life is okay, being average is okay, and average folk is okay, but it's not. And you know that. Because as I said in the last video, it's hard to stay consistent, and it's hard to stay disciplined, and it's hard to do the hard work. But so it is to being broke, poor, sad, depressed, and fucking fat with like man boobs all the life, and not having an extremely attractive beautiful woman by your side, and not having a child that calls you dad, just not because you are his dad, but with all his heart, and because he actually feels that you are a father figure. Are you gonna exist all your life like that? No. So you have to understand that you can't exist, that you can't stay in the sadness of your life. Because I'm telling you right now, most of the people have the same goals that you have the same goals that I have. But there's something that has to differentiate you from the crowd. Most people say that I'm going to reach there, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to achieve this, I'm going to achieve that, but they don't. Are you going to let your life and your story end the same way too? Are you just gonna be another talker and not a doer? Not take fucking action? Because that's what you're doing. The most loser ass person and degenerate person will keep talking about his goal for the rest of his life and achieve, and the action he will the type of action that he will be taking while talking to his about his goals is no action. And that most degenerate type of action that he takes is no action. If you're half-assing it, you say that you want all these things in life, that you want to achieve all these goals, but you are half-assing it, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. The people who go literally all the fucking in way, all the in, the people who go all in, literally in every way, even if they're sad, even if they're depressed, even no matter how many problems they have in life, financial, emotional, mental, physical, health problems, but they still make the progress, they still do the work that they need to do. Those are the only people who make it through life and who make it to the end of it, who actually reach the finish line. Even if you feel sad, even if your girlfriend left you, it can hurt you. I'm not asking you to be a fucking unhuman that doesn't feel anything, that doesn't feel any emotions. But even if you are feeling those emotions, you have to be like, I am going to feel like this, but I am going to still make the action, and I'm going to be consistent with intensity. You are, every day, I have done this mistake for the past 2 years, that I have been sitting there and being like, I've put in so much efforts, why don't I fucking make progress? Why I'm not making progress? Why I'm not making money? Because you motherfucker, the motherfucker that I was 2 years ago, the degenerate I was, he was taking no action with intensity. He was not going all in. He knew that he needed funds for his trading, and he did work for a little while, but then when it came to doing a job, he was like, no, I'm not going to do a job. I was in this place for the first thing, that I was not going to do a job for my life. But I didn't accept that for a little while. I have to do it, and I was not putting in that effort. Sometimes I was like, oh, sometimes I deserve comfort, sometimes I deserve going out with friends. No, you don't, you fucking bitch, you fucking weirdo. Keep talking about your goals for the rest of your life to yourself and to other people, but you're not going to reach there. And you're just going to be another person that is going to be made fun of, and keep lying to your brain that you are making progress, that you are taking action, but you're not. And your brain is not fucking stupid. You think that you are making action. This is the main thing now I'm going to get to. You can say that you're putting all in the efforts, that you're putting all the efforts in, but your mind, your subconscious knows that you aren't. And the situation where you end up in life, mostly all of the time, depends on the display of your efforts. It depends on the display of your efforts. If you are not reaching where you want to reach, that means that there still needs to be made more effort. And most of us, and I have done that. I'm going to tell you, I have done this for last 2 years. That I was thinking, I am making the sacrifices, I am lonely, I have broken the relationship I was in, I have broken the friendships I was in, all my bonds, I don't go out party, I don't go out drinking and smoking, I don't do that shit. And just because I don't do that, I don't do the wrong thing, means that I should reach my goals. But it doesn't work like that. Just making the sacrifices isn't going to reward you in life. Sacrifices are important because they, in my view, making every sacrificial effort, like sacrifice of sleep, sacrifice of bonds and friends, sacrifice of relationships, and every sacrifice that you make, it does put you in a higher frequency state. But only not doing the wrong thing isn't going to make you reach where you want to reach. You have to also put in the good thing. You have to also put in the work alongside. They all go hand in hand. It doesn't matter if you work hard 5 days a week, if you jerk off every single day, or if you end up jerking off on the weekend, or you wake up 4:30 in the morning, 4 in the morning for 5 days, but on the weekends you are like, oh, I'm gonna wake up whenever I feel like to because these are my rest days. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't. All right, you can't say, you can't put in the like, you're putting in the sacrifices of the sleep, of the friends, of the bonds, of the relations, and you also have to put in the work alongside, on your business, on your trading, on getting that job that you want to, on that dream job. If you want to become a pilot, a lawyer, or whatever, I don't know. If you want that, you have to go get it. You have to sacrifice the things that hold you back and put in the efforts that push you forward. Imagine this. You are playing a tug of war. If one party keeps pulling, imagine this is the negative side and this is the positive side and this is the center point. All right, this is a stupid example, but it will work, trust me. The negative side is pulling you. These are the negative traits that you have. Maybe you drink, maybe you smoke, maybe you watch porn, maybe you jerk off, maybe you go out partying all night and do all that shit, and that's holding you back. And at the same time, you are making the positive efforts, you go nowhere. And if you just like, if you stop putting the efforts from the positive side, the negative will automatically take you in its grasp. The negative side will automatically win. And if both of them stop putting in effort that you are doing, that I have been doing for the last 2 years, that I was making the sacrifices, I cut off the negative things, but I wasn't putting in the positive stuff, I still stay in between. But only when I cut off the I make the sacrifice, I cut off the negative things, and I start putting positive efforts towards making progress, that's when I go in a positive direction. That's why I move from the center point. Alright, that was a corny dance move, but that's when you move to the positive side of it. Alright, and listen, why being consistent is so important is because most of the people, it doesn't matter if you wake up 1 month being consistent, you take being consistent as a wrong thing. Being consistent doesn't mean waking up for 1 month and then relapsing. waking up early for 1 month and relapsing. Not it doesn't mean waking up for 2 months, 3 months straight and then relapsing back again, and then keep trying to start again. If you relapse, obviously you should get right back to it. But know that, and I can tell you that, anyone can tell you that don't put it on another week, on the next day. If you relapse on some good habit that you had to do, a non-negotiable that you had to do, and if you relapse on that, then don't put it on the next day, next week, or next month, for sure. But know that relapsing won't let you reach where you want to reach. You have to actually be consistent, day after day, month after month, year after year. Let's take the biggest thing that I have struggled so far, and I am still struggling, is waking up early in the morning. You can play all the motivational music in, like you can sit in that room visualizing how you're gonna wake